Hi and welcome to the first modding tutorial for Ludicrous. In this tutorial I'm going to give you a basic overview how you put a custom map into Ludicrous. You first need to download the required files for the first tutorial from our homepage. So now, if you have done this, let's start. First, copy the file into your Ludicrous directory and extract it there. After that, you should have a folder called tutorial 01 in your data and in your import directory. First, let's go to the data and tutorial 01 directory. It contains one more directory called world file and one file called tutorial01.nat. The NAT file is a script file which gets automatically executed when the game starts and registers the map. The NAT file must have exactly the same name as the directory where it's placed in. So if you're going to name your directory for your custom map, let's say a mega map, you will have to place a script file in it which is called megamap.nat. Otherwise, the engine can't execute the script file and the map won't show up. In the world file directory, you'll have to place the actual level. It already contains a map called tutorial_level01.vld. We will open it later in the editor when we're done with the basic setup. Now back to the tutorial01 folder. We will open the tutorial01.nat file with the normal text editor. The file contains generic information about the map. You can write down the name of the author, the version, which includes the major and the minor version, and the homepage where you will be able to download the map or future versions of it. Next are really three important information. Number one is the name of the map. It's the name of the VLD file in the word file directory. Number two is the name which will show up in the UI later. And number three is the list of supported modes. In this case we have Deathmatch, FFA, and Team Deathmatch, TDM. That's all. There's really no voodoo involved. If you want to create your own map later, you can just copy over this file and modify it to your needs. One last important note: you'll need the line break after the last line, otherwise you will get an error message. So one more note about the version. Every map has a major and a minor version. Let's say you want to join a server where a custom map with version 1.2 runs, but you have only 1.1. You'll be able to connect to the server and play. The minor version only shows that there were changes in the map that don't have an impact on gameplay, e.g. a change the texture or some added eye candy or background geometry. But if the server would run version 2.0 of the custom map, you will need to download it again, as it implies that there was a change that has an impact on the gameplay, e.g. new placed weapons or new foreground geometry. So you, the artist, are responsible to use the versioning correct. Now that's it, close it. Now to the final step, the preview image for the UI. Every map in the game has a preview image so that the user knows which map this is. Go to the import directory. It contains the same as the data directory, again the tutorial01 folder which contains the Word file directory. In it you will find a TGA file, which is exactly called as the map name. The file must have the following dimensions. The width must be 240 and the height must be 180. You can use an alpha channel if you want. This is important if you import this file later. It must have the same name as the VLD file. Otherwise, the game can't find it. You may ask why the directory structure is the same as in the data directory. The reason for this is that the engine automatically puts the important files into the same directory structure, but in the data directory. So, for example, if you import the texture from import/test/test.tga, it will be saved as data/test/test.txt. One last note about the editor mode. Depending on your OS and your installation directory, you might run into trouble to save files. E.g. Vista doesn't allow to save files in the program files directory. Therefore, you will need to run the game as an administrator if you want to use the editor mode. The file elevated starts the game as an administrator, so you won't have to worry about it. But the best is not to install the game into the program files directory if you want to use the editor. Now, the final note before we start the editor mode: if you want to change the resolution of the editor, open the elevated.txt file and change the width and the height. Now, these were all the required steps. Now we can start the editor mode.